So let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. Get my ears sorted out. And imagine you have both feet flat on the floor, or have both feet flat on the floor, about a hip's width apart. And your shoulders are aligned with your hips, and your ears align with your shoulders. And just lengthen your spine, putting some space in between your vertebrae. Take a nice deep breath. And then just go to the crown of the head and release any tension there. Just notice how that affects your face, your nose, your cheeks, the area around the mouth, tongue, the jaw, back of the tongue, back of the head, and the neck. And allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down and relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. And just notice the sensations of the breath as you inhale and exhale. And then any sounds that might be in your environment. Just allowing those sounds to be there. So you can use the breath to release any of these sorts of distractions. And then just be aware of what's in your mind this evening. Just allow the thoughts to arise and abide and then dissipate. Some space in between your thoughts. Just watch them arise and abide. And then bring to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones, your strangers, and then those people you don't like terribly much. And regardless of how you feel about them right now, and these relationships could change. They're all equal. They want to be happy, they don't want to suffer, and they all have this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all the sentient beings. We start by thinking there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so equally we can create positivity instead. And we start with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we will experience. And we know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? And here we come to this power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has these methods that we can use to purify. And we're not necessarily wanting Buddha Vajrasattva to kind of swoop in and, forgive us for all the things we've done wrong. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So it's a much more, we're kind of engaged in the process here. We're doing the work. And so you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. And he has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then think about those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering for them sometime in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And so then we come to this power of remedy, and this is the medicine doing the practice of purification. And we start with our body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of all of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasapa samayam manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokai meboa anarakta meboa savasidi mimpiyata sawakama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satva a hompe Vajrasapa samayam manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sabasidi mimpiyata sawa kamasita me, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satva a hompe. Vajrasapa samayam manupalaya, vajrasapa dina patita, Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kamasita me, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satva a hompe. Vajrasapa samayam manupalaya, vajrasapa dina patita, Trita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa, sabasidi mimpiyata sawa kamasita me, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satva a hompe. Vajrasapa samayam manupalaya, vajrasapa dina patita, Trita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa, sabasidi mimpiyata sawa kamasita me, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satva a hompe. Vajrasapa samayam manupalaya, vajrasapa dina patita, Drita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kamasita me, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satva a hompe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and useless speech and lying, talking about people behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you, and all our kind of inappropriate speech and lack of wisdom speech and not knowing the right thing to say that's going to be most beneficial. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasapa samayam manupalaya, vajrasapa dina patita, Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa, sabasidi mimpiyata sawa kamasita me, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satva a hompe. Vajrasapa samayam manupalaya, vajrasapa dina patita, Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa, sabasidi mimpiyata sawa kamasita me, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satva a hompe. Vajrasapa samayam manupalaya, vajrasapa dina patita, Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa, sabasidi mimpiyata sawa kamasita me, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satva a hompe. Vajrasapa samayam manupalaya, vajrasapa dina patita, Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa, sabasidi mimpiyata sawa kamasita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sabasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sabasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Savasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech, including yourself. And your speech also includes what you write in emails, in letters, in cards, on social media. And next is the purification of our mind. And Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So you imagine, the moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind instantly is eradicated. And it's instant, like when you turn on a light in a room that's dark. So our attachment and neediness and anger and bitterness and grudges and depression and resentment and jealousy and all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Savasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Savasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Savasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Savasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sabasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sabasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sabasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva hum pe. So be delighted now that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And think now there is no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of our body, speech, and mind. So imagine the nectar flows down, pushing out all the negativities of your body, and the nectar flows up, pushing all the negativities of the speech, and then the light comes and blasts all the negativities, all the delusions, the negativities of the mind. And this is happening all at the same time. And in this way eradicates completely even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Savasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kur Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Setva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me, sitam triyam kur hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita, Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kur Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sabasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kur Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sabasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kur Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sabasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kur Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kur Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Now feel you're completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve, and this is the fourth and final step in the purification process, and it's a really crucial one. And this is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. And without this determination, we're just going to keep doing the same old things over and over again. This aspiration that we have in our mind, this decision that we make to refrain from harming, becomes like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions. So Lama Zopa Rinpoche used to talk about everything existing on the tip of the wishes. So you really have to want to do this. And then, rejoice. Such dedication and effort coming along here and doing these practices night after night after night, year after year. We're so happy that we can say that. And then maybe something to work on. trying to work on keeping your mind clear of delusions that create obstacles to your practice. So let's just imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us, wants to merge with your mind, and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So let's just dedicate, well, first of all, just Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on this idea of emptiness. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And you can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice this evening to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's just do our chanting the names of Manjushri for the swift discovery of Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Which were, so we're continuing the story. I think wasn't tonight the story we were continuing from. Oh no, that was another time. Okay, which which were respectfully recited in Illusion's net, the Tantra most supreme, by multitudes of multi-Vajrapanis, the joyous guardians of secret mantras. Just this I shall uphold with firm resolve until I reach my final liberation, so that I may become a great protector, the bearer of the Buddha's every secret. And this I shall reveal to living beings according to each one's capacity, in order that afflictions may be quelled, so ignorance may fully be dispelled. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend and lots of love. And I will see you all on Monday. Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for hosting, Shayla. Thank you, Lou, if you were hosting as well. I couldn't see. Okay. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you. Good night.